How's it going, everybody? My name is Ryan, and I'm here from Bricks and Minifigs over at Crest Hill, and you guys are joining us for Meet the Pam Fam Live. Tonight, we're here with Riley, who we're interviewing. How's it going today, Riley?
Yeah, it's going all right.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying this unemployment time off?
Yeah, it's hit or miss, but it's pretty all right.
You miss working?
Yeah.
That 1 day a week?
Yeah, no.
Not yet?
Not yet.
All right. So as always, of course, make sure you guys let us know any kind of questions you might have for Riley at all tonight. Dave's also going to post up a link in the chat here for you guys to join us live if you want to ask Riley the questions yourself. And then at that point, we'll relay them over to Riley here. And if you have any other chime-ins or conversations that you want to get started at all, make sure you guys throw those in the chat too. Dave will relay them to us as well, as he's our moderator over there hanging out at the desk. So we're gonna get started with some easy questions just about bricks, minifigs, and stuff. We've asked everybody, as you can see by my awesome little check sheet here.
I could tell.
How long have you worked for us over here at Bricks Minifigs?
About a year and a half.
Okay. Yep. You're pretty much right on. Let's see. Okay. Do you enjoy working here?
I see. This is one of those questions where
it's not a trap. Don't worry.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this is a question where I am legally obligated to answer yes.
How about the real answer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It's okay if you said no.
It's good. It's better than most retail.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about working at Bricks and Minifigs so far?
It's kind of easy, you get a lot of creative free time, and well, not free time, but a lot of time to do anything creative, and you get a lot of time to kind of just enjoy yourself, I guess.
Okay. Speaking of creativity, you helped us out a lot with some of our more recent displays, mostly it's like last September, October, especially, where you built the haunted cabin.
Yeah,
that was part of our display. Do you like doing the displays with David and I?
I do.
Getting creative and having that freedoms with it?
I do.
Yeah.
The only occasional problems I have are like certain colors being hard to find. And
yes.
that's what makes it difficult.
Uh-huh. Can you think of any specific? That was really hard?
I started running around with the cabin. I started running out of brown about midway through. So I had to use different colors of brown and different parts that I usually wouldn't use. I wasn't even able to put a full roof on it, but that kind of worked more in my favor with having it open for people to see. But and with the mecha display, which we haven't gotten to because sickness.
Darn COVID-19.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's coming up though. Don't worry.
My mech is dark green.
Okay.
But dark green is notoriously hard to find, especially with certain colors, certain shapes.
So is it done, or is it still work in progress?
It's absolutely not done.
Absolutely not. So definitely work in progress then.
The head and torso, maybe the shoulders.
Yeah, head and torso. It's basically.
So it's got no legs.
Built. Yeah.
No legs yet.
No legs, no arms.
So if you guys at home have a good idea of what he should do for the legs, let us know. And maybe give him some creative ideas.
Free donation of a bunch of dark green Lego bricks.
Or that. There you go. All right. So of course we know you and your creativity and stuff here at work. What are some of your hobbies outside of work?
Watching movies, classic film, building model kits, drawing.
Okay.
More or less.
What is the one thing you do the most when you're not here? Watch movies?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you do anything while you watch movies, or are you sucked into the movie?
I try to get myself sucked into the movie, maybe looking up, filming
at the same time.
Looking up how it was filmed, filmmaking sort of stuff.
On the topic of movies, what is your favorite movie and why?
It's got to be Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. How come?
It's kind of a tough one. I saw some people do some reviews of it a long time ago, and I thought, hey, give it a watch, and it just got me hooked. Just how alive they made the world look in the film. All the different, little cultural aspects of it, all the buildings, all the different people, all the different clothing, all the technology, and of course the music. It's just a really well-made film.
Now, speaking of Blade Runner, I hear you have brought something with you that refers back to Blade Runner.
Yeah, I guess you could say. Yeah.
What do you have to show off here?
I got the Blade Runner car I made not too long ago. Now, here's the thing. A lot of my mocks aren't my own design. It's other people's designs because it's easier to do and it takes less, this was done
Less thought.
Yeah, this was done in a matter of a couple of weeks and as opposed to 2-3 months or not at all.
Do you remember who the designer was?
I don't.
Not off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
No.
Now this is not from Blade Runner. Is this from Blade Runner 2020 you said?
Nope, this is from the original Blade Runner.
Oh, it is the original. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And does it looks like you have a figure in there. Does the top come off or?
Yeah, the door is open. It's difficult though because it's not really held together entirely well with the doors.
Nice.
Gull-wing doors and top does pop off, though it does tend to make everything else explode.
Blow up.
Yeah.
Hey, he did it. There you go. If you want to show off the.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it close up now. Perfect. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. And this car was actually part of a few of our displays in the past.
Yeah.
Kind of hiding out in some of the corners in between alleys of the buildings.
Mm-hmm. I always try to add a little something extra with the displays. A lot of things that, well, a lot of the time aren't quite appropriate, if you will, but
they're more adult than
little adult in jokes. You know.
Well, and that's one of the things I think some of our customers enjoy is and realizing that we don't always do our displays for the kids. Mm-hmm. We always put a couple little nods to the adults, some of the more older movies and stuff in there as well. I know we had some Die Hard references in there for a couple months.
Yeah.
Because yes, it is a Christmas movie. I don't care who you are.
I think the last display you had with the classic town, you had a part of the scavenger hunt was what I made. I got bored and I was rewatching Breaking Bad, so I made Walter White out of Walter White minifigure.
Yep.
And he's got a gun in one hand and a suspicious 1x2 light clear blue tile.
Yeah.
And I see the
hanging out the docks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see the scavenger hunt sheet and it was a shady deal. I'm like, oh, okay. See what kids are gonna get Breaking Bad.
A lot of them figured it out though.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I'm pretty sure we know, but let's see what your answer is for it. Are you into Lego yourself? And if you are, how did you get into it?
I used to be really big into it.
Okay.
Back when I was younger. Back when I wasn't making money of my own. It was just Christmas money. It was Christmas birthday money from my parents. I just kind of grew out of it over time. And, things got more expensive, of course. I started getting less interested. And I kind of fell out of it. Now, here's the part where you'd expect me to say that joining this store, I'd become big into it again. It's still too expensive. It's too expensive, and I've fallen out of a lot of, certain themes. So I haven't really bought a Lego kit in the past.
In a while.
Yeah, in about more than a decade.
But you got into it because of Christmas and birthday gifts and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, I had my older brother's hand-me-downs, and that got me into it.
Okay. Speaking of that, do you remember how long ago you started dealing with Lego as far as building them or hanging around people who played with them?
Probably when I was 3 years old, 3 or 4.
3. Okay.
Again, I grew up with my brother's old hand-me-downs from the older, lines from the 90s.
Mm-hmm. How much older is your brother?
Solid 9 years older than me.
Yows.
Yep.
Good age gap.
Yep.
So he's got a lot of pretty cool toys, I hope.
Yeah.
That he didn't break.
The ones he kept, yeah.
All right. When you're here at Bricks Minifigures, what does your normal work day look like?
I clock in. I immediately take, I'm given orders, and I usually sit in the back and build, certify sets, take apart sets, and then certify them, try to put together use sets again. That's mainly like a big part of my job.
So in the back, as you're going through, what is your favorite thing to do? Do you like Andrew really loves going through like bulk and finding stuff? Do you like building sets, tearing them apart? Do you like certifying sets? Do you like going through bulk and checking out what's in there? I know you found a lot of really interesting parts and stuff in there from other toys.
Yeah. Going through bulk is fun at times. Sometimes, bulk is, oh, look, old toys. And sometimes it's like other things.
I think we found some Transformer heads in there a few times.
Yeah.
And I think we found some Gundam parts in there a couple
bolt.
times.
Penny, a bolt.
A bolt, some glass.
Yep, we found glass.
Staples, nails.
When we first opened, we found I think a 22 caliber bullet. that was probably the worst thing that we found in there.
Obsidian arrowhead.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Native American.
You told me about that.
Arrowhead. A lot of things, to stick your non-gloved hands into, and you expect just Lego, and sometimes you get crud or.
I would get you guys Kevlar line gloves, but I mean, it wouldn't be very easy going through both.
Yeah, it's a work hazard. It's part of the job.
We're working on that.
Tetanus is all part of the job.
Okay, solid.
So I have the magnet.
The magnet, yeah.
You got to get it with the magnet first.
But occasionally you do find some cool non-Lego stuff in bulk, which I could just take home.
What's the coolest thing that you found in it that wasn't Lego? Or most interesting thing you brought home?
Most interesting thing. There's a couple of things. One of them I found a Transformers Generation 1 Computron head, which is one of the combiners. And I thought, I'd find the rest of it in here. And I didn't. It's usually the case.
There's a reason why there's a head in there.
Yeah. I almost thought about, do you know that the guy who sold this stuff to us? Maybe I could sell it back to him for some cash. Hey, you're missing part of this combiner? $25.
Ching.
Outside of that, I think for my first couple of days working here, I started finding some Gundam parts, model kit parts. And still occasionally I do find bits and pieces to Gundam model kits. I think last time I was here digging through bulk, I found one actually. So my whole thing is that I'll know that my job working here is done was when I'm able to actually put together a full model kit based off of stuff I find around the store. And at that point, I could say, all right,
I've been here enough.
There we go.
Okay.
Solid.
Let's go with let's get a little personal here. So, video games. Do you prefer to play them on console or PC?
Console.
Console. Do you have a favorite console? Either current gen or previous gen?
It's either the Switch or the Super Nintendo.
Okay, so both Nintendo brand.
Yeah.
Okay, This is rocking the Nintendo. I know someone else who likes Nintendo. With all the coronavirus stuff going on, everybody's been on their phones and tablets and stuff a lot more, especially being home. What is your favorite app or video game on your phone?
I used to be playing Animal Crossing back when the coronavirus started, but due to some personal, physical, medical reasons, I haven't really had the urge to play Animal Crossing recently.
Okay.
So I just haven't really,
But Animal Crossing was your thing before all the stuff started with you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Interesting. A lot of people keep telling me, it's like, oh, yeah, you ever played Animal Crossing yet? It's like, no.
It's good if you really want to waste hours of your life away.
Which is probably why everybody else is playing the game.
Yeah. We got hours to waste,
Okay. Here's a good question for you with your sets and everything else. What is your approach to building mocks?
My approach to building mocks.
So if you were to build something else like your mech, for instance, what is your approach to going about doing that?
Usually with the mechs, I start out with the torso because my rule of thumb whenever I make any sort of vehicle is that the cockpit of the vehicle where the pilot sits has to be detailed. So I'm talking not just, your standard stickered little detailed parts. I mean, the guy's got to sit in brown chair, leather chair, little mechanical details, all that stuff inside of the cockpit to make it look more authentic. But that's the hardest part with a mech if you're designing a workable cockpit, because especially if you're making a smaller scale mech, like the one I was building, it's hard to kind of fit the minifigure in there and then have everything still work. So that's usually where I work first, the cockpit, and then I move on with the head and arms and legs and everything else.
Okay. Yeah.
With non-mecha mocks, the few that I do, I just start, I guess. And with the cabin, but the cabin was different because I just looked at the floor plan of the actual set, the actual house, and then I just mapped it out with brown and then started building.
Started detailing it afterwards.
Yeah, treated it like a Sims house or whatever.
It's a good one. Dave, do we have any questions from the audience at all right now?
I don't have a question, but I think I have somebody who's chiming in here. Give me a second here.
Okay. So while he's working on that, have you watched any of the Lego Masters shows?
Nope.
Okay. Easy. All right.
I'm not big on reality TV because I know that it's always fake.
So a lot of it's scripted,
Yeah.
or at least made around it. What is your favorite sport to watch, and what is your favorite sport to play?
AJ,
No.
if you could hear us, your mic is muted.
No, neither one.
No.
Okay.
I don't dig sports really.
Not sports. All right.
I mean, I guess if I had to pick, maybe basketball. I don't know, or hockey, but
Okay.
it's more of a family thing.
Have you said someone's joining in here?
Yeah, it shows somebody is in here, but I think their mic is muted.
Let me give me 1 second here. I'm gonna step off cameras. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
There's nobody there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey
he's muted.
kids, you want to do something?
Yeah,
to
AJ, if
occupy
you're
your
trying to
time?
join us right now, your mic is
Teach
muted,
yourself how to
sir.
move your eyebrows individually, like this. I'm
I might
trying.
not have set it up yet.
I don't know. So I'll just leave it for the moment. Oh, and just
Make sure your eyebrows aren't
Okay,
tired
yeah. So
first.
see if he's got a thing for that. Okay. And then Dave, just keep an eye on, please, on our mic volumes too, just in case Riley's happens to cut out like Becca did the other day.
Yeah, no, I have been. You're doing
Awesome.
pretty well.
Thank you, sir. All right. What is the longest it took you to build a Lego set? And I got a follow up one for that one too.
Official or mock?
Official.
Official. Geez, probably back when I was a kid, I built one of the castles, and it took me around a solid 10 hours to build. just
Holy
because-
cow. Okay.
It's because it was Christmas morning, and I was
Playing with all the
10.
other
I
toys
was-
at the same
yeah,
time.
and I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
How about the longest you spent on one of your models?
What do you mean?
Any one of your
model
Gundam
kits?
model kits or anything else like that?
It usually takes.
So constructing, painting, details.
It could
decals.
take a couple of days.
Okay. Do you remember what's your favorite model kit that you have?
Probably the Scope Dog from either the Scope Dog from Votoms or Master Grade Zaku from
Okay.
Gundam.
Okay.
Just because there's a lot to it. It's a lot more fun to build, and the engineering's a lot more complex.
Now you have part of a mock that you were working on that happens to be Gundam. Did you want to show that off? Wasn't it? Oh no, it wasn't Gundam. It was
Macross.
Macross. Yeah, you want to show it off real quick?
Yeah, sure.
What you have made so far?
Yeah, what I've had made.
This is one of Raleigh's projects he's been working on
I
here at the
started
store.
this back when I started working here, and I haven't put much effort into it over the past year. Yeah, here's all I've got of it at this moment. I've slowly been taking it apart because the construction isn't great. Because it's try to get it to transform, and it just falls to bits really easily.
It might need some certain parts.
It might need a complete overhaul. It might there.
Ah, that's all right.
And
Put it away.
and back into the bin it goes.
Bye. But yeah, it was one of the Riley's coolest ones I think he's started working on over here.
I don't even know where the head went. Head just disappeared. Whatever.
So
Manage.
speaking of decals and stuff, on Lego sets, what is your opinion? Stickers or decals versus printed parts? What's your feelings about those?
I think I'd kind of prefer printed parts. Stickers, I mean, always in the hands of kids, it's going to end up skewed and not looking right. In the hands of adults, even it's sometimes difficult, and the stickers wear out over time. You see, if we were Bandai, we'd have dry transfers and everything, actual little details, but no, stickers.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up, David?
I have a question here from Kurt.
Okay.
All right. So Kurt asks, besides the cost difference.
Make sure I'm muted too if you haven't.
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Okay.
We're good. Besides the cost difference, why else are you more into building models rather than Lego?
I guess just the amount of detail. I mean, building model kits, it feels like, the fact that you have to use paints and, put time and effort into sanding and cutting everything out. At the end, you feel like you actually built something. With Lego, it's basically, you spend a bunch of money, you get given a whole bunch of little plastic parts, and you put together a set that, if you squint, sometimes it looks really lifelike. Other times it looks like, it's made out of Lego, which is the charm of it.
Yep.
But, with mechs and ships and whatever I feel like building at the time and model kits, it's cheaper. A standard Gundam model kit, high grade, which, can take, a couple hours to build, and it's very posable, comes with a lot of accessories and decent, little size like that. Yeah, it runs you around $15 at
Significantly
just
less.
just the middle.
Yep.
And just like the middle price range of that. And Lego kits, the ones that look actually interesting are the ones that are always like $40 to $50 or more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to the point where I'd rather spend, that amount of money on model kits than
Get
actually
three model kits for the price of a set
yeah.
or
Yeah.
more, depending.
And plus, you could customize things as you will. With model kits, you get to paint them. With Lego, if you paint them, you get yelled at by people.
Like us.
Or if you glue them, you also get yelled at by people. Yeah.
Which you have to do on almost every model kit, at
Yes.
least most parts.
Sometimes,
yeah. If you could choose any Lego set to own, what would it be? Regardless of value. If there was a set out there that you really, really wanted, what would it be? And why that one?
Probably the newest Expert Creator Series, the Fiat 500.
Oh yeah, the new. Yeah, I can't remember what the yellow color is. It's a brand new yellow that they came out with for that.
Yeah,
card.
the Fiat 500. That one.
Okay.
One of my dream cars. I'm a big fan of Lupin the Third, and that's the car that Lupin drives.
Okay. Well, that was actually one of my next questions here. Is what is your favorite vehicle?
Probably the Fiat.
Like your
500.
dream vehicle. Okay.
Yeah.
Same color in that yellow, or are you thinking something else?
Probably in that yellow.
Okay.
Close second place would be a Toyota AE86 from Initial D.
Okay. As you've talked about before, you're into a lot of the Japanese anime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is your favorite show and why?
See, here's the thing. When it comes to anime, I'm into old stuff. By old stuff, I mean 1980s, 1990s, 1970s. So my favorite anime of all time is probably Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which pretty certain not many people have heard about.
Okay.
Though some people have heard about it.
And why that one?
It's just really, really well. It's a really well made story. It kind of makes every other science fiction war story kind of pale in comparison, because basically it's a mixture of Game of Thrones meets Star Trek meets a European military history textbook.
Interesting.
So it's got the whole clashing sides, mutinies on each side, sort of thing. Civil war, as you would expect from Game of Thrones. It's got the and also the political struggle going on in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek, because of course it's in space, and military history textbook because it's very heavy with the tactics. Okay. And each side, it takes this interesting stance on war where there's no good nor evil, because in a lot of Western media, it's always, good guy rebels, bad guy empire. And that's how it always is. There's always a big good and always a big bad. But with Legend of the Galactic Heroes, there's also a sort of rebel alliance to Free Planets Alliance and the Galactic Empire. But each side, they're good people. They just clash because of different ideological differences, different political differences that makes them want to keep killing each other.
Interesting.
So there's no real side to take in the story, and that's a very interesting way of taking it. Very good philosophical standpoint. Also, it's not like any other anime there is, especially with how it's written. There's no tropes. There's no high schools. There's no loud girls screaming. There's no big whatever. Yeah. It's just a really well-made science fiction novel adaptation.
Okay. All right. Were you ever able to figure that out, David, with AJ?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Okay. Let's see here. Earlier you talked about certifying sets as part of one of the things that you do here for us.
Yes.
What is your method of certifying those sets? How do you go about doing it?
Rip it apart and count the parts. It's basically it.
Do you do it a certain way? Do you go through the manual? Do you use the back page?
I always use the back page.
I
use the back page, and I always first take the cups and I separate them out by color. Most of the time I try to go for the exact, 1 cup per each color, but sometimes I mix them together, especially if they're smaller amounts of each one.
Of course.
Then I just tear apart the set, go through the back, count each quantity of parts individually, and put it in the bag.
Okay.
Simple,
What is the difference in how you act at work versus how you act at home?
Should I say tread carefully?
Besides-
Yeah, tread
besides-
carefully.
Tread carefully, yes. Besides language.
Yeah,
It's all right.
I just turned 21, by the way.
Yeah. Hey.
Besides
Yep.
language, I get away with you here because I curse in different languages and no one knows what I'm saying. How to get away with cursing? Curse in Russian or Japanese or Korean or Indonesian.
hmm
Fair enough.
So I'm kind of. I think you put it on your post for my interview. Introverted in
Mhm.
ways. At work here, I can get away with it because I mostly sit in the back and I build things, and that's fine.
When you know most of us. So
Yeah. And I've kind of been through the ringer with retail. It's to the point where, my first job was at Dollar Tree, so
Okay.
I survived Christmas at Dollar Tree.
Good.
Lines to the back of the store. Basically, here's this attitude I kind of learned to take with customers after a while. Hi, how are you? Boop, 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 boop. LBL? Okay, here you go. Have a nice day. Next. No emotions, dead eyes. Just, hi, how are you? Here you go. Have a nice day. Next. And keep going down the line. So, working here, it's like, there's, when we do have customers, fair amount of customers, it's kind of more or less the same. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess I'm more open here
Okay.
than I am at my previous retail jobs. But yeah, I still am the grumpy guy who sits in the back and builds things. That's how I put myself, because you look at me in the back and I'm always kind of got the sort of scowl going on, but it's just natural. I look like this.
All right. What is your favorite entree to eat for lunch or dinner?
This is hard now. I got to think.
We created some of these for you to
I
think.
haven't-
Just wait till I get to the ones that towards the end that we added for you.
You see, I haven't had a decent thinking session in a solid 2 months.
Don't have a
All right.
seizure on me, please.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You have these strokes out in the middle. What happens? That's what I like to eat.
Yeah. I guess.
It's a fat ambulance in your brain.
Yeah. A good burger, I guess.
A good burger.
A good burger or a good steak.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Do you like your steak and burgers medium well, rare?
Medium,
How do you
I
like
guess.
medium?
I've been burnt on undercooked burger before. Don't buy burgers at Denny's. It's a bad idea.
Ouch. Dun dun dun. Dave, do you have any questions over there?
Yeah, as part of that, Riley, aren't you a big curry fan?
Oh yeah, curry. Yeah. That's probably my favorite food. Steak curry over rice.
There you go. Okay.
You talk about that a lot. So
Yeah, if I don't eat curry once a month, I turn violent. And,
it's like eating a Snickers.
yeah, it's like, being treated for rabies. You got to be treated for rabies, That's probably a
Terrible,
bad
but
example, but,
I gotcha. Do we have any chat questions at all right now?
No, not at the
Yeah,
moment.
if you guys are at home right now watching, please be sure to ask any questions that you'd like Riley to answer.
it's your only chance.
This is your one chance to get to know Riley.
Yeah.
Outside of living in our cave, also known as the project table.
Yeah.
Riley is on the floor sometimes and ringing up customers and helping out when he can and when he's needed. But one of the things that we hired Riley for mostly was the creative aspect of things
And my attitude.
and his can-do attitude. Yep, of course. And
I speak my mind a lot at work. That's the thing. That's probably one thing that keeps, between home and here. I do speak my mind a lot.
And you're not
and,
getting shunned for it.
Yeah. Without a filter at most times, I'm blunt. I'm very
just
blunt.
be careful with the question I have for you later
Okay. I'll answer it bluntly.
with the filter on. If there was a theme that you could have made that does not already exist of any IP out there, what would it be?
See, what I kind of wish Lego would do is go a bit in depth with this. What I kind of wish Lego would do is I wish that they would have a online exclusive, catalog for adults.
Okay.
So we can go into more adultish themes like certain films or, properties and sort of things that you can't really sell to kids and get away with it because, Lego's big anti-war, keep it kid friendly sort of thing.
Mhm.
But if they sold it online, just online retailers, I think it would work. So I kind of want to see some, some more film properties.
Okay.
Blade Runner, of
That
course,
is
would
the
be
same thing.
one I would always want.
Mm-hmm.
I think cyberpunk sort of stuff would work really well with Lego.
Yeah.
They tried to do it with Ninjago, I think, but a line just dedicated to that sort of futuristic sort of thing. Just retro future. I think that having a line, basically like a city sort of line based around that whole concept, like a retro future cyberpunky city line, that'd be really cool. Not
Okay.
specifically Blade Runner. I mean, they could do Blade Runner,
But Blade Runner-esque.
yeah.
Okay.
And also, I kind of want to see them. This is just a thing that it's always bugged me.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone likes making their own minifigure that looks like them. Why don't they just have like a line of, torsos and pants that actually look like clothes that people would wear? Because growing up, I'm like, I'm going to make a building. I'm going to make a city scene. What do I have? Nothing but stormtroopers. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude walking down the street wearing stormtrooper armor because that's all I got.
Yep.
So, having actual clothing that regular human beings would wear as minifigure stuff, and also more minifigure heads. Why does everyone have to be happy? It's Lego minifigures.
There's not always happy ones. There's some angry ones,
There's
upset ones,
there's always
scared ones.
angry, upset, or happy. There's no, depressed. There's no I gotta pay bills and I don't have much money coming in. There's no
Little-
existential dread.
Little slouchy grin kind of face.
There's no existential
The
dread.
Riley
Lego
face.
minifigures. Nothing's awesome all the time.
Yeah.
Everything can't be awesome all the time. Why not have minifigures that reflect some real human emotion? Like, my girlfriend dumped me and I'm gonna crawl into a bar. I want that on a
Okay.
minifigure face.
Okay.
Give me
There are
that.
some
Maybe we'll have
kind of
to- maybe
faces
we'll-
like that,
may-
actually.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to talk to our friends up at Citizen Brick and
Yeah.
have them print us up some
Some
interesting
Riley expression
faces.
faces.
Yeah, give me depressed minifigures.
There you go. We'll have to take
The
like the many
minifigure
faces of
depression
Riley
bags.
and send them up there and say,
Stale
"Hey, can you
face.
make some of
Yeah.
these?"
Stale
I'll be the
face.
model. Just I'll be
Just
the model.
cartoon it and
Yeah, just make my face, but as minifigures. Just
okay. Maybe we'll have to do that. We'll send it up to Citizen Brick and see. Yeah, Dave's got some questions online. Go ahead and
Yeah,
She
so
went our
one
way.
of them is from AM off YouTube. What are the best parts of working at Bricks and Minfigs?
there's time to sit down and you could build. I guess you could
Yeah.
build things.
Mhm.
You could build things and not have to pay for it right away.
also
I
true.
have some builds underneath the display table where I haven't bought them yet because money.
Yeah.
But you could build things and not have to worry about paying for them, I guess. So
They're there. They're there waiting
Yeah.
for you.
yeah, until the boss makes you pay for them. Like, all right, pay for it or I'll throw it out. Okay.
Just make it again.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have another one from?
Yeah, another
online?
one here, which
Yeah.
I feel like Riley could answer in a different way. So Ellie Hammer, she asked, "Who's your favorite superhero?"
That's kind of interesting.
Right.
I'm
that's what
kind
I
of
was thinking.
sort of into the anti-hero sort of thing. Comic book hero-ish character. It's got to be the Crow
Oh, okay.
because the movie was always one of my favorites and the comic itself is really great by James O'Barr. But superhero, I got to go to Japan for this one. It's either going to be Ultraman or maybe I got to think about that one. All right, it's an obscure one. Look up Zubat, not the Pokemon. Superhero. Zubat. If it's a dude dressed like a cowboy with a guitar who turns into a red superhero dude, then you found him.
Okay. Same spelling,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. You just brought up some comic books. As far as comic book artists go, who was your favorite?
You should have let me have these questions so I could, come up with actual answers to them beforehand.
So we could do some research.
All right. So some of my favorites got to be James O'Barr from The Crow,
Uh-huh.
and the rest, Matt Frank, because he's a friend of mine. He does the Godzilla comics. He did back when IDW did them.
Okay.
He also does this one comic which you can't find in stores for some reason called Red Man, which is based off of another Japanese superhero. Basically, the guys behind Ultraman made this show in the 70s, and they were like, "Hey, Matt, we have this old show from the 70s that's really obscure." Basically, what happens in the show is that It was made during when Subaraya didn't have much money and they needed to put something out. So like we got a bunch of old monster costumes that are falling to bits.
Let's use
We
them.
have a big, nice quarry backlot. We're gonna make a bunch of little 10-minute episodes of monsters just minding its own business, and a superhero shows up and murders them,
Mhm.
like the Predator.
Don't worry about that, Dave. Dave, don't worry about it.
So basically, that went on for like 100 episodes, and nowadays, Subaraya is like, "Hey, Matt Frank, here's a property. Make a comic book off of it. Have fun," and that's what they did.
Okay. All right.
So it's just superhero that's a serial killer to giant monsters.
Okay.
Fun.
Do you have a favorite comic book? Either or the full line or a specific issue. However you want to do it.
That's a tough one. The Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers series. It's the Wreckers trilogy.
Okay.
Last Stand of the Wreckers, Sins of the Wreckers, and Requiem of the Wreckers.
Mhm.
It's just basically the story is, the Autobots and Decepticons, but the Autobots also have an awesome kill force called the Wreckers, and they show up in missions where no one's expected to survive, and they just murder everything.
Okay.
So it's just a fun, dark, twisted side of Transformers. And also The Crow is another one of my favorites.
Okay.
It varies some days.
As an inspiring artist, what styles do you enjoy?
I kind of enjoy what I've developed over the years is it's sort of based off of anime, but it's like a mixture of different sort of styles. So I kind of go for a more 80s-ish approach to how I draw. Try to keep, kind of draw things sort of anime style, but add some comic book aspects like actual noses and more varied facial features.
Mhm.
But I do keep a lot of my stuff in the 80s. I'm slouching a bit.
That's fine. Whatever makes you comfortable, man.
So, a lot of my characters have like 80s hair, and 80s anime sort of look to them. That's kind of how my style's developed into over the past 10 years of trying to make my own style. It's hard to do. It's hard to do making your own art style. Start with a comic book, like, Dragon Ball Z, and then you change it and change it and change it and change it over the course of a decade. And even now, it's not really finalized, my style.
Okay. Being interested in anime, comics, and sci-fi, what is your favorite convention?
I don't go to many conventions. That's big money sort of concern. The one convention I would go to every year that unfortunately I can't this year due to the virus is Godzilla Fest.
Okay.
I used to be big into Godzilla back when I was younger.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how big were you into Godzilla?
10.
10?
I dedicated every single dollar I got to buying new movies and action figures. My father made me a Godzilla costume back when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
I was huge into it. I'd spend hours of my life studying these movies and enjoying every bit of it.
Do you still have all the toys and everything else that you bought you?
Stuff I haven't sold, yeah.
Okay.
But over the years, I've kind of fallen out of it. I just moved on with my life. But the convention is, in Rosemont, and it's gotten to the point where even though I'm not big into it anymore, I go every year because it's a big family reunion.
Okay. Because you get to see everybody there.
Yep. People from all over the country and
all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Godzilla Con.
Doing it for more than a decade.
When does that usually happen?
July, mid-July.
Okay.
Like the weekend, like the weekend after the 4th.
Yeah, they probably canceled it.
It's canceled.
Yeah, it's rough.
Oh well.
Going back to work, what is your favorite memory so far working at Bricks Minifigs?
I've got a bad memory. That's the thing. I got a bad memory. I don't even remember stuff from my childhood.
This is a favorite. Do you have a favorite memory of working?
Favorite memory. Probably when I first finished the TIE Fighter 4-pack.
Ooh, okay. That you built from scratch?
Yeah, from scratch. We had the instructions to the TIE Fighter 4-pack from the mid-2000s, early 2000s. And this is back when I was still kind of into Star Wars. I am absolutely not into Star Wars anymore. Don't even ask me.
We'll talk about that later.
But I've always wanted to build this set because, it's always been the one I wanted as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a TIE Fighter, the drone TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter drone?
Yeah, it only appeared in the Legends comics now, I guess. I just thought I've always wanted to see what this whole set would look like built together. So I took the instruction manual and I spent a solid month or two going through bulk, and I built all 4 of them from scratch as close and as accurate as I could.
Mhm.
Of course, some things had to be changed because even though we're pretty decently big size store, we don't have everything.
Yeah. Well, and they were all the original old colored parts too.
Yeah.
So some of the old grays were a little hard to find.
Yes.
In good condition.
So I got it all together. We ended up putting it in the used set, and you guys sold it without even telling me. And I came back, and my baby was gone, and I felt, Dingo took the baby.
My dingo hates your baby.
Dingo took the baby. Yeah.
It literally sold like 2 days later.
It did.
It did, yeah, for a
And
decent amount of money. So
and then we got it in again, and then it sold.
We got in the actual set.
Yeah, we got the actual set in.
yeah.
See,
sometimes when I waste a solid month or two, there's some profit in return. Sometimes.
you're at work, so
Yeah.
Right, but it wasn't like every single day. It was like little bits here and there.
Well, yeah.
It was little bits here and there because you and I did a lot of work in between that.
Yeah.
If you won the lottery, what are the first 3 things you would buy?
I'd have to pay
keep
taxes.
it PG. Keep it PG.
I'd have to pay taxes.
Don't worry about
And then
that.
with the $20 left, I would know.
That's about right. I mean, this government takes a lot of our money.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
You get
buy
like
any-
2/3 of it at fast.
Well, even then, after the tax, yeah.
Probably get a passport and try to go for a trip.
Okay.
I've never been out of the country before. Something
Okay.
I've always wanted to do. One of my dreams has always been to just go to a different country. And
What country?
just
If you could go to
disappear.
one country, what would it be?
It's kind of a tie between Japan, of course, and I don't know, kind of Ireland.
Okay.
I've never been to Ireland. I don't even know why I want to go to Ireland. I just kind of do.
But it seems like one of those things you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the second
Just
thing
wanna
you would
go to
do?
a pub. Second thing I would do, I don't know, get a nice car, put it towards art school.
Get that fee out of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the number 3? Art school?
Number 3, no idea, actually.
So far, you're going to take your fiat to Japan.
Yeah. No idea what I would do with the rest of it. I actually sit on it, save it,
Smart. Okay.
save some money.
Dave, do we have any other online questions coming in right now?
I got one here from Kurt.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
He asked if you are a Deadpool fan.
Nope.
Nope.
Nah, we'll get into that later, I guess.
A what?
Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool fan? Oh,
Yeah.
because you're talking about anti-heroes and stuff earlier.
Yeah. So I'm just going to get this out of the way.
Yeah, go for it.
Me and Disney do not mix.
Okay.
I have a deep, burning hatred of Disney.
So speaking of Disney,
Yeah.
since you're on the topic,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on Disney acquiring Lucasfilm and Marvel?
Oh.
I told you it was coming.
Can I say this because I'm 21 now?
Yeah, as long as it's PG.
You're going to have to be careful with your words, bro.
There's no cursing involved.
Filter. Yeah, no cursing. Filters.
It is a reason why a person would drink. And a person would be me. I'm 21. Leave me
Okay.
alone.
Yeah, you're allowed. You're legally allowed
I'm legally allowed.
in Mexico and in the U.S.
Yes. Anywhere else, basically.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Disney is revolting to me. The fact that I always think that people who try to control the arts are the worst kind of people. That's one thing you can never have control over, the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And film is a newer art. It just started, a little more than 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And already it's to the point where some big corporation owns 40% of Hollywood and is buying out every single production company left and right just so they could choke the profits out of people.
Okay.
And that's what Disney does, in my opinion.
So here's a question. Do you like old Disney? Buy everything Disney.
And I was never really attracted to it. I mean, my older brother was. He grew up in the 90s. He grew up with the expensive Disney VHSs. And I got some
Sure.
of them as well growing up. But
$7.99. Oh God.
yeah. But it's just, I don't know. I was never big into it. My brother was big into the Disney princesses, and I grew up kind of with the whole I'm a boy thing forced into my head. So I never watched anything girly because...
Oh, Lion King, Tarzan.
Yeah.
No.
I was into as a kid. I was into Thomas the Tank Engine, Harry Potter, and Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes.
My parents introduced me to Monty Python at the age of 4, and it's warped my mind ever since.
Tis just a flesh wound.
But Disney, Yeah,
What is
Disney.
the speed of a something swallow? I can't remember
Look, here's
what
the
it was
thing
called.
here's the thing with Disney. They buy out every single production company to the point where no one can really make and make a creative film that's their own idea, that's their own passion project anymore, and make an actual profit on it, unless you're already rich. Otherwise, you're always fighting with Disney because Disney, they have one blockbuster after another, and there's no space for any artists to actually get in and make something that they're passionate about. And everything that Disney makes, I'm going to say this, everything that Disney makes is just made for the sake of profit and not much for artistic merit as well as storytelling goes.
Okay.
Like live action adaptations of their old stuff. I
don't understand why they've even started
cheap.
doing that. They should have just left it all alone.
It's a cheap thing to bring people who are addicted to nostalgia in to throw more money at the screens. Because even if you say they don't look great, you're still going to line up at theaters
and buy it. Yep.
It's the thing. They basically control you.
Yeah.
Disney controls you. Disney controls.
They've done what is it? They've done Lion King. They've done Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin.
Like, do we need Star Wars movies at once every few years? Do we? Do we need it
every 3 years, whatever? I'm totally cool with.
But like, do we need it? Do we need 20 or 30 Marvel films within the span of a decade? Here's a fun thing for you people playing at home. The longest running film franchise that has ever been made is the Godzilla franchise. More than 30 films. Those were made over the course of 65 years.
But that's every 2 years. Do you need a Godzilla movie every 2 years?
There's usually long hiatuses.
But even then, if you had like every 9 months, you had a Godzilla movie, and then you wait 4 years. Still a lot of. It's basically the same thing.
Kind of. They were one of the first franchises.
Right, I understand.
And basically, it's just them. Toho owns Godzilla, and that's basically it. They don't try to actively buy out everyone else.
Yeah.
Or control everything else. They don't stick their hands in everyone else's, pots of honey.
Mm-hmm.
They stick to their own thing. Godzilla is their franchise, and they keep it. So having a franchise isn't bad, but buying every single property you think that can make a quick buck to people who are nostalgic or stuck in the 90s, and then shilling out stuff with no originality or real thought to it, cohesiveness, just to pull money out of people's pockets and make them think that they've seen something great, when in reality they've just seen a cheap cash grab done by a corporation that tries to market themselves to kids, but in reality they just want nothing but money.
Now let's flip the script a little bit here. So besides the corporate aspect of Disney, can you appreciate the animation done on the movies?
Of course I can. I can appreciate some of the artistic aspects done, like how the films are made, but a lot of decisions they make aren't great. Like, a lot of their films seem like they're almost samey. I guess that's my way of putting it.
Okay.
Like, a lot of the Marvel films back when I watched them blend into each other.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's like, people are like, oh, I watched Marvel films again and again. With me, it's like, I've seen them once and I don't want to see them again because there's no really need to. It doesn't appeal. It doesn't bring me back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any comments about those at home? Make sure you guys let us know.
Am I making everyone angry at home?
Yeah. Hey.
With my strong.
This is a discussion here, man. That's what this is all about. Let's see here, and correct me in how I'm asking this question. But essentially, which one is your favorite, like, Gundam suit or robot from Gundam?
Mobile suit from Gundam. It's a tough one.
To clarify, I told him, like, a lot of the shows don't align with the original, like, story. It's very out of the box. So there's multiple, like, stories, suits, etc.
I'm just gonna go on and just answer it, I guess. The GPO-1 Fulburnian from Gundam Stardust Memory.
Okay, and why that one?
It just has a really nice look to it. It's got a lot of verniers and thrusters, and it makes kind of sense being in space. It's just a really nice looking suit.
Okay.
Decently powerful,
All right. Do you currently own any Lego sets at home?
No.
No.
A lot of my stuff is just bulk that sits in a bin in my garage.
Okay.
It chilled out with the spiders for many years, but
Do you remember what the first set was that you ever built?
Probably one of the old Lego Harry Potter sets. I think it was the one where it came with Harry, Draco Malfoy, the Remember Ball.
Yep. Andrew was talking about that on Monday.
Yeah, that little $10 set. I think that was probably my first Lego set that my parents bought me.
Okay.
Back when I was an infant.
Okay. When you are going through Lego and sorting through it, do you prefer to go by color or by element type? Like,
color.
do you go by color? How
color? It's just easier, in my
Easier.
opinion. Just having things color separated.
Okay. I was going to ask you which is the one set of yours that got away. So, like the one set that you really wanted that they didn't make anymore. But I don't know if you have one. Do you have a set that you wish you could have got? And whether it was maybe the TIE Fighter 4-pack that we sold or something else.
I think it's might either be some of the Speed Racer sets. I never saw the movie, but I do like old Speed Racer, the anime.
Mm-hmm.
That or the DC Wayne Manor from the 1960s Batman, classic TV Batman.
Okay.
I always wanted to get that set and give it to my father as a Father's Day or a birthday present because
Tell me when we had it here.
I told him we had it here, but he's like, that's too much money. And I'm like, yeah, cool. It's also
it's an
too much
expensive
money.
set. It's like 450 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
selling
pretty
it for like 80.
No, not that set. That
Probably
set was
good.
super expensive.
Hmm.
That old 60s style Batman.
Lego is expensive.
What is your favorite snack?
Snack.
Something that you would eat all the time, whether you're watching movies or
You see, I don't
playing games.
eat. I don't
stuff like
eat
that.
snacks often. I don't eat often, actually.
Okay,
Like I haven't eaten anything today. I don't eat.
that's a problem.
It's a
You
problem.
don't eat, you die.
Yeah.
Come on.
But snack wise, I guess if I have to pick one,
It doesn't have to be like a food snack. Like it could still be like fruit or crackers or who knows, something that you just like to munch on. Besides human flesh. No, I'm just kidding.
it's something simple and easy, I guess. Go to Aldi. They have these frozen honey baked chicken tenders. You just my house. You just throw them in the air fryer for like 20 minutes, and I just eat them. That's it.
Okay.
No, it's
See?
basically
Little chicken bites.
air fried food.
Air fried chicken.
Simple.
Okay. Are you an early bird, a night owl, or neither?
Neither really.
You
See,
just-
recently, due to medical reasons, I've been forced to wake up in the morning. That hasn't been going well.
Mhm.
I usually stay up late, but I don't stay up all night. I go to bed around 1 or 2 in the morning.
I would say that's pretty night owlish, though.
Yeah, it's just because I watch movies and I stay up.
So,
just to
so
keep
you're more of a
watching.
night owl.
I
If you-
guess.
If you had to pick one, you.
Though I do enjoy sleeping a lot.
But you can sleep during the day.
No, I don't sleep during the day because it's hard to sleep during the day, and I also have a tiny dog and a father who comes home at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
that can be a problem.
once one time when my leg was broken, it's the whole thing. I'm nodding out, and I hear and it jolts me out, and I don't like that, so I don't sleep during the day.
Okay. Yeah. You talked about your leg being broken. How did that happen?
They're gonna wait for the whole "How did you get this job in the first place?" question. So, all right, let's just make this a broad question of why I started working here.
Okay.
So
Sure.
2 years ago, I was working at Jewel. Everything was fine. They were taking out money, labor fees, labor union stuff.
Yep.
Trying to work over to people. They promised me a cashier's position. They gave me a cart pushing position. And
Like, that's the good old
a job. It was a job.
Yep.
It was a job. Wasn't great, but it was a job. But main part of my job was bagging and cart pushing. So about 2 years ago, I was coming back home from classes. I had to break between classes, college classes, and on my home street, my brakes stopped working. And I
Ooh.
had to crash into a parked car, or else I'd end up sliding into Glenwood and getting T-boned.
Yeah.
So I crashed into a parked car, but they don't tell you in driver's ed never to tense up when you're about to crash.
Yes.
So I held my left leg against the floorboard as I crashed, and it snapped my lower leg clean in half.
Ooh.
Like, it destroyed my leg. Both bones, tibia, fibula, broken like a Kit Kat bar. My leg turned into a noodle. And, yeah. So safe to say, because of that, I lost my job at Jewel, pushing carts, because even if I was recuperating, I would not be able to push carts.
Right.
So
Absolutely
I quit
not.
my job because it's physically impossible. So after about a solid summer of recovering and physical therapy, I had to get a new job. So I'm like, hey, Bricks and Minifigs is a place I found a couple months ago before the accident. Seems decent, easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied for a job here and I made it. I applied for the job here for two reasons. One, it's Lego and it sounds kind of fun. And two, there probably isn't a lot of walking around involved.
Nope.
So
I mean, there can be, depending on your...
So my first month here, I was using a cane. So
Mhm.
I didn't want to do a lot of walking around.
Yep. And that's how you started your career at the project table.
Yes. That's how it happened.
All right.
That's why that's also part of the reason why I don't do birthdays. Because when I first did birthdays, I had a cane and I was a lot of standing around trying to, control kids. All right, kids, do this, kids, do that. First off, let's just say I never got along with kids.
Mhm.
Second off, standing for a couple of hours at a time with a leg that's recovering, it's just not a fun time.
Rough.
So I just haven't really done birthday parties since because, it's not in my nature to really be jovial and outgoing.
It's still one of those things where if you're going to be on your leg for a long time, it's rough.
Especially in the winter. In the winter, it does hurt.
Darn weather-related injuries.
Yep, dragging about me old stump in the cold.
Dave, do we have any online questions at all right now?
Not at the moment. No.
Man, where are you guys at right now?
I'm just so interesting.
Oh, the rest of our normal question people are MIA right now.
Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to ask the person who lives in our basement what they think about working here. You never see him.
Don't tell him about
the basement.
Don't tell him about that, Riley. It's a secret.
No one knows.
You just let the cat out of the bag. Don't leave Stu alone. Okay, he's down there doing his thing.
Yeah,
just leave him alone.
Yeah,
nobody needs to know about what he does.
It's Stu's business, not mine.
That's right. Jeez, you were just almost. Why did you tell him that?
Stu's trying to hide from the law.
I'm not hearing this. What is your advice on making a Lego mosaic? Would you use 1x1s or like the biggest piece possible?
Good question.
And what size would you make it?
Good question. I've never made one.
Okay, if you were to make one.
Probably 1x1 tiles, I suppose.
Okay,
I don't know.
With tiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess because there's a color for all of them, I guess.
Most of, yeah.
Right, 1x1 tiles. It seems like the most basic thing you'd make with Lego.
Plates. 1x1 plates, probably.
It'd be plates or tiles. See, I've been working here for a year and a half, and I still can't tell the difference between plate and a tile.
Tiles don't have the studs on top.
Okay, so tile then. Yeah, right?
The flat ones, the completely flat ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Those ones.
They come in a lot of colors. I don't know if they come in all the colors.
It's a fun part. It's a fun part about the job when someone says, hey, Riley, find a 6x2 whatever. And I'm like, cool. What is it? What did you just tell me?
I'd hope you know parts. Don't
No, I really don't.
If I said you to go find a 2x6 plate, you'd find it.
Yes, we find a 2x6 double bracket snot make garbage pile whatever in maroon that hasn't broken yet.
Dark red, not maroon.
Yeah, dark red. Favorite color, by the way, dark red.
Oh, there you go. Favorite color period or favorite color Lego?
In Lego, because it's just so easy to break.
What's your favorite?
That's the reason. Okay, so
what's your favorite actual color?
See, this is another difficult one because my favorite color, I don't know what to call it.
Well, you gave me an answer.
I forget the camera is aiming that way.
You gave me an answer.
I gave him an answer. Yeah.
What was your answer you gave me?
All right. So when it's snowing outside, when it's nighttime, look up at the sky when it's cloudy. That color of purple. When it's late at night, snowing,
okay,
and the street lights reflect from the snow back into the sky, into the clouds, and it makes this sort of purplish brown color. That's my favorite color.
Okay,
I tried taking pictures of it a bunch of times, but it never comes out right.
Yeah, you can't get it. It's very difficult.
If everything was made that color, it'd be great.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question, and I'm just curious if this gets a decent response from you or not. What does Lego do for you as a person?
Builds things, doesn't it?
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, you have no emotional attachment to Lego.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to go on a record and say that I kind of prefer Mega Block.
Oh, okay.
Here's the reason. One, it's cheaper. 2, you get more bang for your buck with the minifigures. They're posable and they look more like actual people. And there's more
Okay.
varied brands, more varied adult stuff as well. Like, you have He-Man, but you also have Alien and
Halo.
Terminator, Halo. But the thing is, Lego, kind of like Disney, is almost monopolizing the whole thing. So you go to a store and you're lucky if you find an end cap with Mega Block. I want Mega Block to become popular again because you can't just have a bear market when one.
Well, a lot of it's called they have that Mega Constructs that's out now too.
That's why they rebranded themselves.
Yeah.
But what do they call it? A bear market when one brand has like almost a monopoly over everything and there's no room for anyone else to get in. Yeah, that's the kind of thing Lego's doing because you don't see much Mega Block these days. And if Mega Block or Mega Constructs had like more licenses to more adult themes, kind of like what I was talking about earlier,
you think they would survive a lot better and prosper a lot more?
Absolutely, because
I got questions.
I flip my lid whenever I see more He-Man stuff in stores because I'm like instant I find more.
For the power of Grayskull.
Yeah, as soon as I find figures of those in stores, I'm like, I'm buying them. I'm buying them right then and there.
There you go. All right.
I saw Man-at-Arms the other day.
So, Dave, you said you've got a couple of comments going on. What do you have going on in chat?
Here.
Yeah, go ahead.
One from AM.
No one's asked me about my hair yet, and I'm kind of disappointed.
We'll talk about that.
Does your store sort Lego to an extent? And do you ever buy pieces to use on your own Lego creations?
Good question. Ryan, answer the first one.
Okay. I was gonna say, I should probably take the first one of that.
Yeah.
Sorting parts here, we only really sort out specific parts. As far as like shocks, harder to find, printed parts, stuff like that, we keep in the back to use to certify sets, which is we usually then give to Riley or David to kind of go through all the rest of the set and put it all together.
Frames, translucent parts.
Yeah, we try to hold on to a decent portion of translucent parts and stuff like that just to have a backlog. But we do let some of it come out too so people can buy them. Usually windows, doors, stuff like that, staircases we'll hold on to. But other parts, something like slides, like from the friend sets and everything else like that, we just always put up because those are just easy to buy.
Eye candy.
A lot of the older 80s and 90s parts, especially if they're printed, we'll usually hold on to, especially too, because those are really hard to find in good condition because a lot of times they'll just get destroyed and manhandled.
So I got 2 cups back there.
Yeah. So on to you for the next part. So what was the second part of that question, David?
Do you ever buy pieces to use on your own Lego creations?
You see, when I build my own stuff, I usually build it from scratch here.
Yep.
So it's not like I need a specific part for a set. It's like I'm building it right here and right now, and you're not going to stop me no matter what you do. So I don't.
You're fired. I'm just kidding.
It's only rarely I actually go on Bricklink and actually buy a certain part. I think I did with that Blade Runner spinner car.
Yes. Yep.
But
those darn navy blue.
Yeah, the navy
parts.
blue. Yeah. Especially with that. Sometimes I have to buy certain parts in certain colors because you just can't find it here.
So in other words, your answer is no. You don't buy parts to bring home the stuff because you build it here and then just buy the whole thing as it is.
Yeah, more or less.
So essentially, yes, but not in the way that you're asking. I guess. Yeah. What was the other question?
The other one is from Sarah, your wife.
Oh, okay.
She asked Riley, "What is your favorite pastime to do as a kid or teen?"
Oh, so favorite thing to do as a teen or a young kid?
Play video games or just waste time on the internet, I suppose. I wasn't really active as a teenager.
Did you have a favorite video game when you were growing up?
Not particularly. I've had a lot of old video games that I just had lying around because I have an older sibling.
Yep.
So I just got hooked onto them. I got hooked onto Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo games, but
was there, let's say Super Nintendo, was there a certain game that you got to play with your brother a lot?
Not really.
Or that you enjoyed playing?
Nintendo 64 is where me and my brother played games.
Okay. GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
I think everybody that owned Nintendo 64 had to buy GoldenEye. Like, of course, it came with Mario 64, but I think everybody had to buy GoldenEye.
I think one of my favorite pastimes was my brother used to be extremely good at Star Fox 64. Like, if my brother applied himself, he could win some world records. It used to be like he'd ask his friends, like, "Hey, pick a route: hard route, medium route, or easy route," and he would just go through it.
Okay,
that's cool.
Interesting.
So it was just fun watching him do that. And the funny thing is, recently over Christmas, he tried doing that again. Now that he's 30, He couldn't even get through halfway point in the game. He rage quit.
No, really?
He lost his touch. And I'm like, Quinn, that was your one thing.
Man. All right. What is your favorite official Lego theme that exists right now? Or existed, I guess. Do you have a favorite that you
I don't
like?
really have one. I guess the modular stuff is kind of cool.
Okay.
I suppose there needs to be more variation of it, though. It's a lot of just regular, shops and street fare. I kind of wish that they would make more licensed buildings in minifigure scale, though, because I've always wanted to see a modular build of the Ray Bradbury building from Blade Runner.
Okay.
Which is an actual building too in California, but no one's ever really made one.
Let's look up and see if there's a mock for it.
I don't think so. I've
when
spent hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to show you. Remind me to show you the new haunted house that's coming out, and the new Star Wars helmets. I think I don't know if you saw the new boxes. In fact,
I saw them. I'm not impressed.
No, really?
No. Again, it's Star Wars. It doesn't impress me.
Well, I think you like the haunted house. So speaking of Star Wars, Star Trek, or neither?
Of the two, I'd say Star Trek.
Okay. How come?
Because I don't know. It seems just smarter than Star Wars. Because Star Wars, most times there's not even a war. It's a skirmish. It's the Rebel Alliance versus the Empire. The Empire just dwarfs them entirely. It's not even a war. It's a skirmish. But it's like Star Wars just seems, I don't know, it just seems kind of dumb to me these days. I think it's Legends of the Galactic Heroes has changed how I view
everything else.
Yeah, it views how I view science fiction war series and political intrigue and military tactics. Because watching why did they destroy the Death Star? That's so stupid. Why didn't they just steal the Death Star? Go in with a small strike force, disguised as Imperials, get all the way to the top, hold the commander at gunpoint, steal this base.
But there's thousands or tens of thousands of people on that base.
Get all the way to the commander, put a gun to their head, and boom, you got the base.
Or they just kill them.
Or you kill the commander, you do that too. But
well, I'm saying they would kill them. They would just
shoot
kill
everybody
them.
out of
in order
an
to kill
airlock.
their own commander.
Line up against the wall like a vacuum.
I don't know why they have to destroy it when they could just steal it from themselves and use it.
That would be interesting though. Maybe that should be part of their what if series for Marvel, or whatever. Just do one for Star Wars. What if the Rebels just took over Death Star?
Yeah, they do kind of like the Battle of Troy sort of thing, where they just kind of stow away and then take it over.
Send some mouse droids out.
So easy. You can just do that.
If you could travel to any time frame or dimension, where would you go and why?
Probably the 60s.
Okay, how come?
1960s. Well, we have to keep things PG, don't we?
Yes.
I was watching a movie.
You could just say hippies. We understand.
Yeah,
okay, hippies. Okay.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. No, enough said.
Okay. That's the whole reason for the 60s?
Yep. Basically, my father even said, there's a lot of people who think like you in the 60s. You would have had a great time.
Okay.
I mean, I even look like I jumped out of the 60s.
Joe says
those days.
in response to the Death Star thing, he said because Rogue One.
Okay. Interesting.
That
was Joe?
Destroy it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually watching today?
This is my first time seeing him here.
Okay. Hi, Joe. We missed you.
You got questions, Joe?
Yeah, you got questions. We need some more questions here. So I don't know if this is really going to be an applicable question for you or not, Riley. But
Mind if I just talk after all these questions?
Do you like the free build or use the instruction manuals? What do you prefer?
That's a tough one. Free building. See, the thing about Lego with me is that I'm very creative, but I just don't know how to put all the parts together because there's just so much variation of different parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to kind of, put something together and have it actually look good.
Okay.
I just think it's not like you're working with a pencil or a paintbrush where we make the components of what artistic piece you're trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
With Lego, it's you're given certain pieces you have to use in a certain way or else it won't look right. You don't get to make your own parts.
Nope, you have to come up with better ways to do it. Is the whole thing.
I think a more successful version of Lego is just polystyrene, plastic, and glue. Because that's how a lot of prop makers make their ships.
Absolutely,
just plastic, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, and build with it.
And start using some modeling glue and started adhering it together.
Yeah.
Do some sanding, some painting, some extra attachments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, side note, back to my whole Star Wars thing. Why I like Legend of the Galactic Heroes more than Star Wars as well is because it makes the Star Wars Empire look really, really pathetic. Each battle in Legend of the Galactic Heroes is like tens of thousands of basically Star Destroyer-sized battleships going up against each other per each battle. A fleet contains like 30,000 ships. And I looked up on Wikipedia, like, I think in Star Wars, like the most Star Destroyers that they ever had at one time was like 25,000 for like the entire fleet. I'm like, that's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean the entire one specific fleet would be the biggest that they should have shown was in episode 9, but I can't remember the name of it now. But in some of the written material, I think it was part of the Legends or whatever, was 300 Star Destroyers.
That's pathetic.
Was the biggest that they had a single group of.
Oh man. Watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes. You get to see thousands and thousands of battleships and millions of people fight each other to the death per battle.
There you go.
Fun.
Did you say you had another question over there, Dave?
I got a question from Joe.
Okay.
He asked, what is your holy grail set? Like, if you were to get a Lego set, is there one that is like a must-have overall?
So let's say beyond the Fiat 500 that you're talking about.
There's something old, maybe there's something that hasn't been made yet, I guess would be cool too.
Something that hasn't been made.
Well, Holy Grail set would be one of those that you just have to have.
Something that's already out or been out.
Something that's already been out. I don't have one.
What about that's been out, like something that's retired over years?
Still don't have one.
No? Okay.
No, not really. So you think about, I used to be big into Lego Star Wars, but once I got out of Star Wars, there's nothing that really pulls my interest.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Why focus on a brand or a theme if you could just make it yourself? Because especially if Lego won't do it, you're left by making it yourself. Like, if they made Mad Max Lego sets, cool. Awesome. I would buy those.
I think a lot of people would.
All right.
Yeah. Cyberpunkish Blade Runner stuff, cool. Or like some Universal Monsters, maybe. Like Bride of Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein's lab made out of Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Totally.
Or like, I don't know, Seinfeld, Jerry's apartment made with Lego. Or Deckard's apartment from Blade Runner has always one I've wanted to make with Lego. Don't know how in the world I'd be able to do it.
Gotta get creative.
There's certain texture stuff that I can't really do with that one with Lego. Especially because it's based off of a Frank Lloyd Wright building style.
Okay. Cantilevers and all that jazz? Okay. You have to show me later.
Yeah. It's a certain wall pattern.
Okay. If you had a new opportunity away from bricks and minifigs, what would be something you would take away from your experience here?
I guess just how much of a chill environment it is here. I mean, outside of the negative, which is back pain. Lots and lots of back pain.
I think all of us suffer from some back pain or another from all the building and all the leaning over tables.
Yeah, especially leaning over tables. It's hard to do when you're 6'2".
I got a good chiropractor. He's pretty cheap.
Yeah. But I guess what I take away from this job is just how chill it is. Like a lot of the times it's just chill people. There's no hierarchy like, retail establishments. You can't, say no to your superiors. You can't question anything. You have to do what you're told or else you don't get paid. But here you can actually, I look at my boss, I don't really look at him as, he is my boss, but he's, more than just a boss. He's just, I don't know, a human being. As opposed to most retail managers who I've messed with who are just the most non-human people I can expect. Jewel, for example.
I can concur in the many jobs that I've had, yes.
Yeah. It feels like I'm actually working with human beings here.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I've got my list is done. So
that might help. That might help with my next job whenever I
see another left.
Whenever I work at a bar.
All right. So Sarah asked, what creative outlets do you have outside of Lego? Music, drawing? What was the most recent artistic outlet piece?
Probably drawing. And I feel bad because I haven't done much drawing recently, even for schoolwork, just because medically I haven't been doing the best. So I
Yep.
can't really get in the mood to do some drawing. It's usually I get started and I just kind of, can't do it.
Yeah.
But, drawing is usually my best outlet, my outlet of choice. I need to get
And you've
back
had some
into
good
it more.
drawings. You've shown some to me before, and they
Yeah.
were good.
Thanks. But,
Getting
yeah,
ready for
drawing.
some comics. Was it you were trying to come up with a comic for yourself too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that for class or was that just for you?
That was for me. It didn't go anywhere. But I've had a comic idea that's been going in my head for the past couple of years. And
Don't tell anybody because then they're gonna steal it.
Yeah.
Copyright.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, you said you had another one, or
Not in the chat, but I'm trying to think of some right now.
okay. Well, if you guys are at home and you guys have any more questions for Riley, please let us know in the chat. Dave, if you can, just put out a comment for the link for the stream as well.
Yeah, I put one in earlier.
Joe, if you are still with us, you can join us and ask some questions.
I got another one here.
If anybody
No one-
else
no one
wants to hop
asks-
on, you can feel free to ask us questions directly and not have to type them out. You can have more of a
I got
conversation here.
No one's asked
Yeah.
about my hair care routine yet. That's disappointed me.
You do okay. So let's talk about this real quick, since you bring it up.
Yes.
So your hair at one point even got like twice as long as it is now.
Yes.
Why did you grow it out and why did you cut it?
It's a family thing. See, my family has always been, my mother's side of the family has always been blessed with good hair.
Okay.
Like,
Very curly, wavy hair.
yeah, hair that doesn't recede. Hairlines.
Well,
that
that's
don't
always
recede.
good.
Yeah. So I've got my mother's hair, and so does my older brother. And during high school, I think the story of why my brother grew his hair out was because American Idol was popular, and there was this one singer called Sanjaya.
Yep, I remember. Yeah.
And my
It was
brother,
like original.
yeah, my brother grew out his hair, and he's like, I got the Sanjaya hair. But my brother growing out his hair, my brother kind of had like Hagrid length hair.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, long hair. That's what we're all known for. I think right now he still has Hagrid length hair, but for a while he had it cut. But as a kid, watching my older brother with his long hair, I'm like, I want to do that. So I grew my hair out long. Bad timing because going through puberty with very long hair and somewhat not strong masculine features yet, everyone gets it confused for a girl. That was my middle school.
Okay.
It wasn't fun. But it's kind of been back and forth. I've been cutting it short, letting it grow out. It's growing out again because the virus.
Yep. Yep.
Got
Darn,
it.
Barbara's not being around.
Yeah.
What's the shortest it's ever been?
Shortest it's ever been is since I started growing it out. Can't really describe it. About an inch long, I guess, an inch or two.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think if it was that short, I probably wouldn't recognize you for the first 5 minutes I looked at you.
Yeah. It gets kind of short, not super short. Like short enough where I can't put it in a ponytail or a bun, I guess. But my hair's also been so long, it's been down in the center of my back before. And
Long.
currently, I kind of want to keep it somewhat poofy, like shorter than this, I think, a little
Okay.
bit. Growing out the mustache, beard a bit too.
Do you have to do anything with the hair at all, or is it just
Oh, with the hair.
natural?
All right, so my hair care routine is I shampoo every other day, I conditioner every day. And
Okay.
my hair, there's really nothing you can do with it. My hair is extremely thick. Like, it's I almost need to use diamond-coated knife to get through my hair to cut it. I have broken more brushes than I can count.
Ooh, okay.
I need to get like a metal
You
handle
got hair with grip.
with grip, yeah. So basically all I do is like I comb it straight back or see what happens.
Okay.
I make adjustments there, and usually it's just, just there we go.
Hey, you
There
got
we
your hand
go.
through it.
Yeah.
It didn't get stuck.
My hair was once so long and so thick to the point where I think during a summer I was taking a shower and then I found a dead fly in my hair.
Ooh.
Like, where the heck did that
And
come
it
from?
always makes me wonder about people who have like those really long, like ZZ Top beards. Like, there's got to be stuff growing and living in there at some point or another that they just don't know. So,
Peter Griffin with a bird.
right. Little bird's nest hiding underneath. Some blue jays. How'd this get in here? Do you have anybody asking questions at all over there?
Sarah wanted to extend that on like the music, drawing, and everything. She asked, when you do it, do you use pencils? Is it black and white? Is it color?
So when you're drawing, what kind of media do you use to create those drawings?
I usually start with pencil. I keep it black and white. I used to try to do color with Copic markers, but that just became too expensive because each marker is $7 and you have to buy replacement ink.
Yeah. Well, not only
It
that, but
got
you're
expensive.
talking probably at least 40 or 50 different colors if you're really trying to
Yeah,
get into it.
It got expensive. So nowadays I usually start black and white with pencil, and then I sometimes ink. Usually if I ink, sometimes it doesn't come out right. But nowadays I usually scan it and try to make it in Photoshop.
Okay.
Try to do the inking and coloring there if I ever do. But most times it's just pencil on paper.
Have you ever thought about doing more digital artists? Like, if you like thought about getting like one of the touch pads or whatever and actually like drawing it out digitally?
Yeah, I would need to get a better tablet.
Yeah.
Because I don't get that sort of freedom with the tablet that I have now. It seems like there's always a disconnect between me drawing on a tablet and me drawing with pencil.
Okay, sure.
And that disconnect is what makes it extremely difficult to get anything done just digital by itself. I've tried doing just digital drawings, and I look back at them now, and they just don't look great.
Now, what about the? Sometimes they have those other like artist pads, whatever, that will hook up to, USB or Bluetooth or whatever, that you can still draw on it, but it'll translate into digital. Have you thought about doing that instead of just writing directly on a screen?
I mean, if they got a good one that's decent enough price, I would.
Okay. So you're not afraid of going digital?
Not afraid of going digital, so long as I'm able to actually do something with it and not make it look terrible.
Okay. Fair enough.
Do you have any inspiration or people that inspire you when you draw or you're doing any creative artistic things?
Old anime, like a bit of Cowboy Bebop, a bit of City Hunter. If I need a good expression, like a good hairstyle or a good clothing thing, I just kind of look at those.
Okay.
To kind of remind myself what my style looks like, because sometimes I forget. But
trying to keep that unique style to you.
Yeah, but for like buildings, vehicles, and everything else, I think a couple of inspirations. James O'Barr, of course, just for how he draws people.
Mm-hmm.
It's very emotive because he did everything in ink.
Okay.
And Sid Mead, rest in peace, the designer for Blade Runner. He designed all the cool, the cars, the electronics, the setting. He designed all of that. So considering that my comic idea takes place sort of like in a retro future, but deeper into the future, I take a lot of inspiration from his sort of vision of what a futuristic, somewhat not apocalyptic, just somewhat dystopian world would look like.
Okay.
Like a dirty, grimy city filled with crime.
Fair enough.
But technology, because future.
Okay. You brought some stuff with you today to show off.
Yeah.
You want to bring those up and show them off? Tell people know what you were doing with those?
Not particularly.
And that's Riley.
Yeah. That's my type of humor. Some things I showed off the Blade Runner car. I got the car from Initial D. I think I either based it off of Hachiroku's or someone else's car design.
Okay, and do you know what kind of car this is supposed to be? Does it have a certain model, or is it
Toyota AE86?
Water bottle.
Hachiroku, of course. Hachiroku, of course. Because Hachiroku is 86, so it's the Toyota AE86 Truno
That was like
custom.
the last custom thing you did before we stopped working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has this nice little single exhaust in the back too.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty well done for that little exhaust piece right there.
Yeah, I gave him a couple pieces for that I had at home so he could finish it.
Cool.
Again, a lot of these designs, they're not my own. So
Okay.
I just take them online and I make them myself. Like
These are all the sets
Acura bike.
that you've built here, and then you paid for them.
Yeah. Acura bike is one too. This one's gotten some, compliments. I've also made my own custom Acura styled bike here. A bit of a different shape, different color scheme.
Very similar though.
Yeah, similar.
I like how you did this dark red with this spool here. That's
Yeah.
different.
Fun thing for if you ever, for those playing at home, go to all of your dark maroon, go to all of your dark red sets and see how easy it is to break one of them.
Very.
Because dark red doesn't last long with Lego. It's the most fragile thing I've ever messed with here. I have broken so many dark red parts.
Old reddish brown was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
probably
something-
worse than dark
It's
red.
something
Old
with
blue,
that
too.
chemical use for both.
Yeah, something
Old blue,
in
too.
the dye or the whatever for the ABS.
I've seen dark red Lego parts crumble like old chewing gum from old baseball.
Sometimes,
cards.
yes.
Yeah. Like, hey boss, check this out. I just tap it on the table and it's like Transformers with gold plastic syndrome. It just crumbles to dust.
That was terrible, wasn't it?
Gold plastic syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot
it
of
looked so good until you touched it.
Yeah, a lot of old Transformers no longer exist. Some of them are broken into packaging
I
still.
got one.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one?
What's up,
Yeah,
Dave?
I got one here. All right. So we were talking about when you did my video, like if there was something like if I was the CEO of Lego and I wanted a theme to be made or to come back, I had said Transformers is one of them. Riley, what is your opinion on that?
Oh, that was, I think, a 90s IP that you'd want to be made.
One? Yeah, if there was a 90s IP, what of that era would you think would be cool for Lego to invest in?
We're talking 1990s, not 1890s.
Yes.
Yes, my favorite time period has got to be, man, I don't even know anything from 1890s. Never mind.
This is pre you.
Yeah, pre me. I was thinking movies, but movies didn't even exist really, except like
Sure they
the
did.
train coming into the station. Is that one?
There was just westerns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Anywho, 1990s brand that I would like to see brought into Lego. Going like just TV show wise, Mask.
Ooh.
Not the Mask, but Mobile Armored Strike Command Mask from TV show. Just cool cars that turn into different vehicles.
I had a ton of those toys. A ton of them.
And that would be cool and kind of easy to do with Lego.
I remember I had this. I had a black. Was it a black Firebird almost?
Mm-hmm.
That I think converted over to like a hovercraft or a boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it was my favorite toy. And then my brother broke it. He's 6 years older than me. Destroyed it. And I was like, no. And I also had this dark purple colored motorcycle that also turned into like a little boat. It was almost based. I think they actually based one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Raphael vehicles off of it.
Yeah.
Later on, but it was that crazy old, like dark, cheap plastic purple color. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like G1 Transformers purple.
Yeah.
Okay. In that same topic, if you were a CEO of Lego, what is something that you would want differently to happen?
What would you change about Lego if you were the CEO?
I would allow more adult-based themes, but for online stores so that kids don't get adult stuff. Like, more complex things, not just simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Complex things, complex sets, more, movie references. Just vary it.
Yeah.
Make it more for all ages instead of just for kids.
Just for kids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions coming from the public at all? If you guys have any questions, please let us know. In the meantime, while we're hopefully waiting for some of those to come in.
Not that boring in person.
What's that?
I'm not that boring in person.
Make sure you guys check out BrickCon, BrickWorld's virtual con coming up on Saturday from 11 to 5. We are going to be on there. You can go get a link from our eShop on there as well. We are one of the sponsors and vendors for them. They're going to have 15 of the Lego Masters contestants on there in one of the rooms, which is going to be interesting having all 15 of them in one room. So I wonder how the conversations are going to go there. And then they're supposed to have 16 other rooms, including a GBC. They're doing some robo racers and a lot of other displays and vendors that are going to be showing off a lot of stuff. So if you do want to do that, it is only $9 for the show for your device. You can have the entire family watching it, especially if you cast your device to the TV. And then, of course, tomorrow at 5, we will be live here again, where Becca gets to interview me for our finale of the Meet the Bam Fam series. And of course, you can go back through our Facebook page or YouTube channel at any time and watch any of these videos, including tonight's with Riley here, who's rocking out his shades now. And then, of course, we did have Andrew on Monday.
Wait, so you're saying these are all going up in public, so everyone's going to see them?
Everybody can see them, yes.
Oh.
So Andrew was on Monday. We had Dave on Tuesday, Becca yesterday, Riley today, and then of course myself tomorrow. So if you guys do have any questions at all, we'll give you a few more minutes to ask those questions for Riley. Riley, is there anything else you want our fans and stuff to know about you that we haven't touched on?
I'm not as grouchy in person.
You're not. You're really not.
I mean, I kind of give off that impression because I always sit in the back and I always got this sort of face, kind of a slurm, if you will, just a whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because I'm tired, you
Yep.
know? I don't know.
Those late nights.
Late nights, too, yes.
Becca has the same look when she comes in sometimes.
You see, I think part of the reason why I haven't been fired yet is just because my personality is just so out there.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's different. I speak my mind. I have no filter.
Typically not.
Typically not, yeah.
So thank you for being filtered for the show.
Yeah, I tried.
And thank you for bringing in these motorcycles and stuff again. I don't think I've ever actually seen this white and dark red one before.
Yeah, that one I made when I wasn't working. Well,
Is that supposed
not
to be like
a
kickstand
day.
on the
Not
side
a day
there?
I was working. Yeah. I just got bored. Sometimes I am bored and I just come here and I build stuff.
Yes, you do come in on occasion on your days off and just build stuff.
Yeah. I got nothing better to
Cool.
do.
I like these. If you did these in like black and a different color, it'd be like almost like Tron bikes,
Yeah.
which would be really cool. All right, do we have any other questions at all, Dave?
No.
Pretty quiet? All right. Well, then I guess we're going to go ahead and cut the stream short. Well, I shouldn't say short. It's probably been quite a bit of time already. So thank you very much, Riley, for coming in. I appreciate it, especially with everything going on with you personally.
Yeah.
Seemed like you're doing much better today, so I'm happy for that.
Yep.
And hopefully things will continue to get better as we will hopefully be able to also reopen here and not have to deal with all this coronavirus stuff anymore.
Yep.
It's probably going to be a while, though. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Make sure you guys check out our show tomorrow. It's going to be our finale of the Meet the Bama Fam. And then, of course, Dave will be starting his What Breaks My Bricks segment coming up at a not determined time yet. We'll be sure to let you guys know that hopefully tomorrow, and Dave will finalize some stuff with me tonight. So thank you guys for joining us. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir. And then we will catch you guys tomorrow. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later. Have a good one.
Take care. Have a good one.